Hi everyone, Chris Hendricks here. It seems like there's a lot of interest in postural analysis and offering different kinds of courses and things like that in postural analysis, but I don't see a lot of stuff about the basic building blocks of it and how to sequence things and put concepts together in a way that works. So I'm in the midst of creating a kind of a visual glossary of different postural analysis concepts and practices, and the video that you see right after this is going to be one of those. Thanks a lot. See you on the other side. One of the most basic building blocks of postural assessment is the line of gravity, and how we usually tell that is by looking at the plumb line. And how we make a plumb line can vary greatly, but one of the best tools that I think for learning how to assess people visually is in looking at pictures and putting in kind of an imaginary plumb line along their body and seeing if how that lines up with gravity, how they line up with gravity, and looking at different postural anomalies that can happen around that you may not see without it. So let's start with this picture here, and we'll take our imaginary gravity line here and we'll overlay it on the picture. And I usually try and put it right between the person's feet and lay it vertically along the picture so that you can see from one side to the other what happens with the person's posture. Now, as you can see here, that there is not a generally equal distribution of the body's mass from side to side. As you can see here, the way that the legs line up is different from side to side. The right leg here has a different curve to it relative to the plumb line than the left side. And in addition, the way that the upper thighs move, one rotating in, one rotating in, see, they rotate in differently here. You'll also notice as we move up the body here that there's a different level of volume, there's a different shape to the glutes here, and that one of them appears slightly wider than the other one. And that's important to note just in terms of how weight and how force is being distributed in the body. Side to side as well, you can tell in the midribs here that there's a different length and a different width in how much the body's volume is being distributed from side to side. Where this particular person's differences with gravity, for lack of a better term, seem to happen is at the shoulders. And you can see here, I think, if you look up and down the body, that the largest difference from side to side is at the shoulders, which, as you can see from here to the plumb line, is much narrower than from here to the plumb line. Now, that could be for a couple of reasons, and it's a little more difficult to tell in 2D than it is in 3D, but as you start to see these differences looking at pictures, you'll be able to pick them out when you're looking at the person. One more thing to think about here is that if you look at this lady from side to side, you'll see that there is more of her head on one side of the plumb line than the other, and that's also very important to note, especially if your client is talking about any kind of head, neck, or shoulder trouble. Hi, this is Chris Hendricks. Thanks for your interest in my videos. I really appreciate it. If postural analysis and learning how to see people effectively is something you're really interested in, I'm going to encourage you to come to the page that you see at the bottom of the screen here and learn more. And for coming, I'll give you a free report on the basics of postural analysis, which will give you a decent intro and let you get more information and see if this is something that will really help you. So thanks again for your interest, and I'll look forward to seeing you again.